Hello, everybody. Welcome to our Health Habits Happy Hour on Wednesday, December 10th today.
Yeah.
So we've got a nice group here and plenty of things to keep us motivated and encouraged. And so I just wanted to start out in Amy's absence. Amy Michelle is not here today, but I am, and we are all here. So it's our usual group. And if you have time or want to, go ahead and hit invite a friend. And we're going to get started with a little breathing relaxation technique just to get
Okay.
our nervous system reset. And Amy usually has some slides up, and you guys all know love yourself enough to to do what's right for you. And it's like clean conscience, clean body, clean mind and heart. So let's take a deep breath of fresh, clean air and just get a nice reset going. And sometimes I like to put one hand on my heart, one hand on my belly. And when you do the deep breathing technique, a really good one is notice that your hand moves, not the one on your belly, not the one on your chest. To really get a deep breath. Welcome, welcome, everybody. Come on in. We're just getting grounded and centered and regrouping here. And we're going to practice the deep breath just in through the nose and feel the belly first. And this exhale, let it all out. So exhaling, blowing out what no longer serves us, not just the carbon dioxide, but emotionally too, right? All the things that no longer serve us. Now we're going to practice just a double intake. So breathe into the belly first. And now a quick one to fill the rest of the chest, lungs. And a big exhale. Let it all out. It's some form of virtual hug, self hug.
Yes.
Gentle moving hug is nice. If you do like the bilateral alternative tapping,
Yes.
patting the shoulder, and never too high or too much that it hurts, and always just slow. So we have done a manual override with our brain and nervous system that maybe you were rushing to get here, but now we're in parasympathetic rest and digest mode. And it's really good to do this. A lot of our conversation here stems around what we eat, why we eat, when we eat. But remember to take the breath, long exhale before you eat. Maybe not necessarily before every bite, but even I read an interesting thing. It said people who do a deep breath before they eat, because you go into rest and digest, you digest your food better, a little bit healthier. And I know a lot of the friends here are, like to say prayers. So it's as you sit down before your meal and you're saying your prayer, aren't you also just
Yes.
nice, relaxing breath? It actually helps your digestive system. It actually helps your cells absorb the nutrients better. Did you know that when you adjust into parasympathetic, the rest and digest mode, you're actually expanding your DNA, elongating the cells and the mitochondria, the little powerhouses. They are spinning. They are doing their job. And they are more ready to receive information. So mindset as well as nutrition is information as well. So just a nice practice throughout the day. Right now we just did it together. It just was a minute or two. But just remember that. Anytime throughout the day you feel your shoulders going up, just oh, let them down. If you feel you're clenching your jaw, just give it a little wiggle, let it relax. But that exhale, deep breath and exhale really helps. So that helps us get into the mindset for today. And there's always so many things going on. So I see myself on the top of the screen and I'm just going to go around and if Anybody wants to raise your hand and share if you've had any wins of the week, if you got on the win call or the Monday call, or anything you want to share from your health journey this week or today. And I see Sharon at the top of my screen. You want to start us off? Yeah, do you got any notes or anything you would like? You don't have to. I'm not gonna pressure anybody. I just want to give everybody their chance. Or if you want to go at the end. There we go. Unmute button. You got her?
I'm
There it
just
is. Yeah.
celebrating a win that I got my glasses back.
Got them
Yay.
back.
That is a
Oh,
really big win for me.
That
yes.
I had both cataract surgery on both eyes, and I was not getting along very good with the readers that or the magnifying glass, and I got my glasses back yesterday
yay.
after
And
almost 2 months. What is
Oh
two
wow.
months? My first surgery was 2 months ago. So I walked out of there yesterday and I was kind of dizzy yesterday because now my eyes are adjusting to my glasses. So, but I feel so much better not trying to read something with
yeah,
readers or a magnifying glass that I could just leave these things on.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, well,
But,
that is a great win. Is he,
yeah.
and that gives you a clear focus on your whole mindset.
But
You
some
get your eyes back.
just some takeaways from Monday. It was just a cute little, how they put it together, but um, why? I guess he gave us a good explanation of metabolic health, and he described it as how your body converts food into energy processes, how how your body converts food into energy, processes nutrients, and maintains stable levels of blood sugar, fats, and blood pressure. And that's what we're trying to keep is that sugar stable throughout the day. So the cravings aren't there. We're satisfied. We've got the energy. So that was just a really, really good reminder. And he talked about the dumb scale, which he called one that just tells us what our weight is, because he says that's creates emotional instability because we're looking at the scale and we're up 2 pounds, we're down 2 pounds, we don't understand, why it's fluctuating so much. And it, it just, plays with our minds, I guess. We need to do the deep breathing to help us.
Right?
Um, but
yeah.
um, focusing on our lean muscle mass, those little mitochondria that Carrie just talked about. They furnace our metabolic stability. There are little engines, tiny little engines that are fueling our bodies, helping our energy, creating our energy, and our lean skeletal muscle. And oh, there was three of them. I don't know if anybody else has keeping our body in a fat burn instead of a sugar burn.
Oh,
Fat
Yeah.
burn versus a sugar burn. Majority of the time, we're learning how to stay out of sugar burn and get our
Yeah, you got to
body
go
to,
through the sugar burn to get to the fat burn.
yeah. So, um, those are just some things. There's more, but somebody else might want to learn what they got out of it.
Those are
Um,
great. Yeah,
yeah.
back to the basics on some of those things. It's nice to know how the body works so we can work along with it. And I saw you looking at your notes there, Kathy. Did you have more to
Well,
add from there or just go ahead with whatever else you got?
I pretty much had the same. what she did, just again too about the visceral fat. And I was listening to it while I was working out, so then I came back and tried to write down some of the things. But talking about how the visceral fat, I'm trying to think what he said about that now. Oh, like the muscle, you could have your visceral fat could be more, but it helps you with your muscle. Something, did you get that, Sharon, what he was talking about?
Mm,
Isn't it the ratio from one to the other? So as the visceral fat lowers, it
The
increases the
muscle, like
muscle?
the muscle could weigh more. That's what he's
Well,
saying.
yeah.
yes, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was talking
And
about,
that was that with the dumb scale part? Because if you
Yes.
just go by sheer pound weight, what
Right.
is it? Is it fat or is it muscle? Yeah, yeah.
Is it
he's
muscle?
talking about the majors is the body fat percent and our fat-free body weight, which is our bones, our water, our muscle, and our organs, and then the visceral fat.
Yeah.
So, I mean, both those together, you know, I'm not sure I'm explaining it right, but we want to look for those changes, our visceral fat and our fat-free body weight. Want to see our fat-free body weight go up and our visceral fat go down and our body fat percent go down. So those are the three things that he was really focusing on. Not the weight. It's not about the weight. So
Good. And is that with you guys both have that body composition, body comp scale?
I don't have mine yet.
You
No, I
don't have it
haven't
yet.
ordered it yet.
Yeah, I thought you said you ordered it, but
yeah,
you have yours, Sharon,
yeah. Hmm.
and I hear you bring it to people's houses sometimes.
I do. I have.
I see Jolie
I,
nodding.
I have. I mean, it's just a starting point, and it's just really, you
Yeah,
know,
Yeah.
I
wondering what
have
your body,
I
wondering
have
what
a
your body.
scale that shows me, a few other things, but it doesn't show the visceral fat. I don't have just a standard scale, but it's not as elaborate
Yeah.
as the scales that you all have. So I'm still wrestling with, do I want, because I just bought this one not that long ago and it was like $50. So, but it doesn't
Yeah, keep
have the
using it.
visceral
It
fat.
works.
Yeah, it works and gives me, a lot of stuff, information, but
Yeah, and then it's the learning curve to fill in all
to,
the other
yeah.
main points like Sharon was explaining. And did you order yours, Betty? I think you said you
Yes, I did order it and I got it.
oh it came
And
already.
okay, now I'm like Kathy. I have my old scale. I was really wrestling with it. My old scale gives me the weight, and then you tap it, and then it gives you uh, your your fat, your water, your
Water.
muscle,
Yeah.
and then it's something else anyway. And so
Mhm.
it doesn't give you your BMI, but it does give you those percentages. And so I kind of wrestled and wrestled with it. And I got it sent Sunday. It came, it was on the step Sunday. And so I took it with me to Dr. Michelle yesterday. And we kind of said, and she spent, bless her heart, it's you this is what a coach is wonderful for.
Yeah.
She's wonderful. She spent half an hour on my um I don't want to say a bad word, but it is a stupid phone. And she worked and worked on it. I have first graders, that's a bad word. You don't say that word anyway. And so uh she worked on that and she cleaned up a lot of stuff, and came home and I could do some things and get it, but everything but get it registered. So now I spend money. I have my old scale that tells me a bunch of stuff, and now I have a new scale that will only tell me the dumb weight and refuses to tell me anything
Oh,
else.
oh.
We'll have to work on that again. But yeah,
But
it does
we'll
it's
keep
supposed to communicate with your phone, right?
Yeah,
Bluetooth or
it's there's something else there, but she worked with it and got a lot of it cleaned up. So,
yeah.
but we're thinking that because it's such an old phone, that maybe we need to
Oh.
change that around and
So
stuff like
the phone
that.
has to upgrade to be as smart as the scale. Oh, maybe. Well,
Yes,
do you
and
see her every week or every other?
I see her twice a month.
But
I've
yeah,
been on maintenance with her for years, long
yeah.
before Optavia came in. So
Well,
she's
bless her heart
super.
for taking
Yeah,
extra time with that. But
she's
'cause I was
taking
gonna
good care of
offer
me.
Sharon to help call you.
I know. I'm waiting for Sharon to show up at my house. I look down the road.
I thought a
We,
phone call at least, but
neighbor kid has
2
cleared
hours
a
away, and
path through the snow.
yeah, through the blizzard.
There's more coming.
Yeah.
Oh,
I have to
It's-
check the weather first. If it's not blizzard going on, then maybe. But yeah, that's up to
exactly.
you
Yeah.
guys. But yeah, talk behind the scenes, get on the phone, um, and to get that discussed. Because I know
Yeah.
Amy's just she's out of the loop right now, but there's plenty of people to help each other here. We'll
Yeah.
tag team it. So, well, I got you, Betty. You got
Yes.
another win to share. I mean, that's a beautiful win. How much your doctor helped you,
Yes.
and what else you got going on good
What
this
else
week?
we got? Well, that
Little
was what
wins or
this
learns.
morning I had a big argument with myself because I'm trying to get Christmas stuff done. I got great grandkids that need stuff done and mailed. Okay. So I've got 6 of them. And I'm finishing up the 6th quilt and I should be able to get that out. And then I've got jammies and dresses and all kinds of stuff. So big fight. Do I take a win? Do I take a win? Then I looked up, I finished something up and it's 5 minutes to 9. Take a win call. And I'm glad I did because it changed the whole face of the day. It did. And you know it well, but you argue with yourself, but I can't afford the time. Yes, you can, honey. You afford what's good for you. You can afford the time and you take the time. And it's good for you and it's good for them too, because
Yeah.
you showed up and that makes it shows them that their job is important because it certainly is. And I got to give a shout out to Dr. Michelle for being so helpful and being a wonderful, wonderful coach because she certainly is. And she's there for me week in and week out. She is there for me. And all of you guys are too. It's really wonderful. So that's
Yeah,
and
it
then
takes a community, right?
yeah, and
Takes a
as I'm
village.
walking down here, my husband was telling me how beautiful I am. And it's like, thank you, sweetie.
All
Maybe I
right.
don't care if no one else in the world thinks I'm beautiful, but my sweetiekins thinks I'm beautiful, and that's all that counts. So,
That's the main thing right there. That's a huge win.
that's huge.
yes, so there's some wins for you. So
Yeah.
some good wins. Yeah.
And I don't know if you saw Sharon, but Jolie just dropped off. Maybe you can message her. I don't know if it was her internet connection or what, but
Oh,
she was on and then dropped off. And
Oh,
then we got Roxy and Elaine and Jill with the camera off. And if you're busy or you're working, we get it. But if you'd like to share, just open your mic and start talking.
yeah.
We will definitely make space for you. And oh, yeah, Jolie's back. I think it was her internet.
Yep.
Well, it's good. We'll have to
She said
catch
it was her
Jolie before her
internet.
internet bumps her out again. Welcome back, Jolie. Let's try this again. It might be your internet connection, but we're gonna keep an eye on you. But I saw
Yeah.
you nodding there when Sharon was talking. Would you like to share? You got a win of the week, or oops, go ahead and hit the unmute again. I think I accidentally muted you.
Okay.
Sorry.
Can you hear
There
me
you
now?
go. Yes,
Okay.
perfect.
Um, yes, I'm here. So the internet decided to work for a little while, and I'm going to be changing it. It's been like a 3 week thing, so it's been bad. But I had a 3 day weekend with my sisters. We do that once or twice a year, and so we had some very fun events. And I must admit that I had I think 3 little special desserts to eat with my sisters when we went to the Sound of Music and the Civil War Christmas and out to the Wild Carrot, which is our favorite place to go. But throughout the other time and through my sister's husband, Larry, who just feeds us and waits on us like a servant, um, I had all my feelings and all my things with me. And so I did stay on track most of the time, but I did share those special things with my sisters. as well. But I'm back to
Yeah.
regular routine again. So
Isn't that interesting? Now you're back to your regular routine. It's already healthy habits for you.
yeah,
It hasn't been that many months. It's the way I live. It's the regular way.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I love
yeah,
that.
yeah. So
Well, good for you, because
We,
that had to have been hard if, he makes all
oh
this food and
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, it was. But yeah, it was very good. It
but
was
you
very
planned
good.
ahead and scheduled
Yeah,
event. That's great.
Yeah.
yeah.
And had a
So
wonderful time, it sounds like.
yeah, and I did go ahead and treat myself, but
Yeah,
it's all fine. And it
yeah.
made
I'll
my
close
sisters, they were very now is this something you're going to be able to eat? And I said, well, I just told myself it is our sister Christmas time together, and I'm going to have a treat, period.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so, and I could have had several, but I had one each
Yeah.
time because
Good
So
for you.
they had
Good
yeah,
several.
for you.
you
See, and
did very well.
So
Yes.
anyway,
that's very reasonable.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And thinking ahead on it. And if we only live in the place of restrictions,
yeah,
we're actually holding back physically as well as emotionally and not always treating ourselves well. We don't want to bully ourselves. So
Hmm.
you making a decision, weighing all the options, and you made a good decision for you. And that's wonderful. And then you get back to regular life. And
yeah,
it doesn't have to be, always a treat. The real treat is sharing the special moments with family and friends. And it's not the same as emotional eating. You
yeah,
weren't just eating your feelings, you were enjoying the feelings with the family.
yeah.
And
That's
it
very true.
includes the food. Yeah, it does make a difference with the mindset.
It is.
Yeah, that's nice. Thank you for sharing that. I call that a beautiful win.
I do too. So have they noticed that you've lost weight? Have
Oh
you seen
yes.
them? You see him a lot, or you hadn't seen him in a while?
Oh, she froze up there. Oh, or did I freeze up? No, everybody else is moving. Yeah, it's
Maybe
Jolie,
he
poor
didn't hear
girl.
the question. I just was curious if they hadn't seen her, for a while.
Yeah, I think that's a very valid question. And did you want to share another win, Kathy? You were starting to say something earlier, or
Oh,
was that?
I had a really good workout today. I was happy about that. I've been up, I told everybody knows I love to be outside. I'd rather be outside walking and getting my exercise that way, but it's been so nasty here. So I've been going to the gym every day. So that's a huge win
Ooh,
for me. So,
Good. So that's been on your
that is good, good, good.
goal for a while.
well, we haven't had a winter. I mean, it already started out bad. We've had snow and huge, these horrible winds and cold temperatures. And I walked outside last Friday, and it was a little dangerous actually. And I don't want to fall, because
Yeah.
there's ice, and I had to really watch where I was walking, and I couldn't walk as fast. And I thought, this is ridiculous. Just go to the gym. So I did.
Well,
Yeah.
good for you. Yeah. Indoors during the winter is great if you can. And was it you, Sharon, was doing snowshoeing? I know Mary Gomat did, but didn't you do
Me, yep,
snowshoeing too?
it
Yeah.
was me. The
And how'd
snow's
that
getting
go?
kind of deep
Yeah.
Yeah.
and it's
Yeah.
so white out there. You can't tell how deep the snow is.
Oh, wow.
I mean, I just have we live on an acreage, so I can walk around and sometimes like, oh, I'm on top of the snowbank, and then the next time I'm like, so it's been
Yeah.
it's been fun though. I don't have, I don't do it for a long period of time, but it's just like you said, fun to be outside.
Yeah. Get some fresh
Yeah.
air. Yeah.
If you can be outside, let's make it fun. And
Yeah,
like you said, Kathy, safe. We don't want anybody falling on the ice.
I thought
yeah.
you
No.
can't
That
fall.
definitely will set us back. Yeah. All right. And I think maybe Roxy is at work. I know Roxy's been doing her work out. She's
Yes.
been going for muscle gain, not just weight loss.
I'm
And
just
so,
I'm just gonna put in a little win for Elaine.
oh, good.
Um,
Yes.
and she joined the Dr. Sharon the other night, the healthcare
Mhm.
professional that is really doing one-on-one, answering some questions. It's a half an hour. And she asked a question and she gave her a suggestion, so, and I think it's just a good thing to, participate in if you can. And she put the link in the, well, it's not a link. It's an ID number. So
Oh, for
I
a
don't,
Zoom call?
yeah, I don't,
Yeah.
do you have that? Oh, let me just,
I do not have it right offhand. It might be if we scroll back, but
I've
so
got
that's going to be tonight?
it's 277 six
okay,
three nine 4048.
okay,
Is that I think that's what I have written down.
okay.
And
Could
that's
you
for
read
the
that
Dr.
again? 277?
Yeah, 277 639 4048. But then I don't like if there's a password. I didn't get the password.
I
Or
don't,
if that's all we need.
I think that's all we need.
Okay. Yeah,
And
Um,
when is
277.
she on again?
what
It's
was
on
that?
Tuesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern Time and 6 p.m. Central.
Okay.
Yep,
So that was last night.
It was last night.
yep, she's been a health coach, I believe, for 12 years,
Oh,
and she's a general practitioner, and she's just been, implemented the program, the Habits of Health, with a lot of her patients, and she's just got some really good feedback, and yep, she just promotes it as strategies for your health journey and how to make the habit of health second nature. So, yep, 277-639-4048. Right? Isn't that
awesome.
right? Yeah.
So I put that in the chat if anyone can
Yep.
cut and paste it from there or ask each other. See, we're all connected.
But
Yep.
We're
that's
all supporting
probably
each
not a
other.
replay, though, I bet.
No, she
No,
does
that was
not,
the live.
she does not record it
Okay. Okay.
because she said, there's some will ask some more personal questions, and she just doesn't want it something that
Sure.
gets shared,
Yeah.
with anybody and everybody.
Yeah.
So,
That makes sense.
yeah.
Yeah. And then that's great to know too, like a national broadcast thing. Elaine was able to get her question directed
Mhm.
straight to her. So that's nice to know that we have that extra support. It's not just this tiny room here. And more are welcome, but that just shows it how many people are interested. And to have a doctor answering your questions, that's quite a privilege.
Yep,
Quite a
on our
big deal.
team, so it's really, really a benefit that we have.
Okay, thanks, Elaine. She just said in the chat. She clicked on the link and it did not need a password. So
Okay. Okay.
good to go for next Tuesday, 6 Central. Put that one in your calendar. Awesome. And we have another special guest here, Kate. I see she turned her camera on and she's come on a few times before. So thanks for joining us. I know Betty knows Kate, and most of you have met Kate. She's my sister. She's known Amy Michelle longer than I have, but she has a couple specialties that she assists with. Well, I'll just let her go in to what she does and what she's got scheduled coming up.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for having me. So, as Barry said, my name is Kate, and I am an emotional freedom guide, which means that I help women reset their emotional and nervous system so they can release what no longer serves them and step into a life where they can actually thrive, not just cope.
Yes.
And so, one of the reasons that Carrie and Amy Michelle invited me today is because I know all of you are very health conscious, and cravings and weight are often some of the first signals that women notice when something deeper is asking for attention. So, we notice the pounds or we notice the cravings. We notice when we're struggling with emotional eating, but we don't always understand what's underneath that. So that's where I come in. And I want to assure you that when you have cravings, when you have emotional eating, bursts, it's not because you're weak or lacking discipline. It's your body is really incredibly intelligent, and cravings or emotional eating, they're similar but separate. They're not a character flaw, they're a message. So a craving isn't your body sabotaging you, it's your body communicating. So most cravings show up when your nervous system is overwhelmed or you're feeling stressed. Maybe you're depleted, lacking in a certain frequency or a certain nutrition. Maybe you're exhausted. Maybe you're in a period of emotional tension. Or maybe you have needs that haven't been met, needs for comfort, safety, and connection. Your body is trying to help you stabilize, and it chooses the fastest tool that it knows, which for many of us is food. So there's absolutely nothing wrong with you. Your system's doing the best with the tools that it has. But when your nervous system is regulated, cravings naturally shift. When your emotional system feels supported and safe, urgency to eat decreases, impulse eating drops, nighttime cravings, those I just need something right now, those fade away. Your decisions feel easier and require less willpower, and your relationship with food becomes calmer and more grounded. So this is why women and men too, but I primarily work with women. We can be on any nutrition plan like Optavia or anything else and still feel like you're battling your own biology. And it's not the food plan, it's the nervous system underneath. The plan is doing what it's supposed to, but we need to add in that emotional layer so that you're getting to the core of the issues. And you don't fix cravings by willpower. You fix them by listening to what your body is asking for. So instead of asking, how do I stop this craving? A more powerful question would be, what is my body trying to tell me right now? So sometimes the underlying need is something physical like rest. Sometimes it's you need soothing or emotional support. Sometimes you need joy. Sometimes you need connection or stress relief. But when you meet that need, the craving dissolves, not because you've had to fight against it, but because it doesn't have anything left to do. It met its purpose. So this is the work that I help women with, guiding women through simple techniques like EFT tapping, nervous system resets, emotional releases, and trauma-informed regulation tools. So this isn't about perfection. It's not about eliminating cravings. It's about liberating yourself from the fight against them so that your body and mind can work together. And when that happens, everything gets easier. Your health, your energy, your self-trust, self-care, your confidence, all of that will expand exponentially. So cravings are often the invitation for deeper healing. For many women, cravings and weight are just the entry point. They're the system that's easiest to notice. But the deeper transformation happens when we address the emotional patterns, your hidden stress responses, old protective behaviors, and the parts of you that learn that food equals safety. And when those parts finally feel supported, your entire relationship with yourself begins to shift. So I have an invitation for you. I will be doing a Cravings to Clarity workshop next week. So not tomorrow, but next Thursday, the 18th at 2 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Central. And I'll send this all out in an email. It'll actually come from Amy Michelle, but an email with all of the details to log in. But in this workshop, I will be showing you how to decode your cravings, calm your nervous system, and break that cycle without shame, restriction, or fighting yourself. So you'll pick one craving, something that you've really been wanting lately. And it doesn't have to be a super strong craving. You might think, oh, I don't have anything that's like I have to run out in the middle of the night and go to the store for it. So I must not have a craving. But if there's anything that you keep thinking about, maybe it's a particular flavor of ice cream, or we're coming into the holiday season. Maybe it's your favorite Christmas treat. When you keep thinking about something specific, then it's a craving that we can work on. And even if it's not super strong, maybe it's a 5 out of 10 or a 4 out of 10, we can still meet that emotional need and be able to, in one session, completely release that specific craving. So, this isn't a replacement for your program that you're doing. This works beautifully alongside your
Yeah.
program that you're already on. I'll never tell you what to eat. I'm going to help your body feel safe enough to stop shouting at you with the cravings. So, if you've ever felt frustrated with cravings, the nighttime munchies, emotional eating, or that feeling of, I know what to do, why can't I do it? Then you're absolutely not alone and you don't have to stay stuck in that pattern. I'd love to help you take the weight off your nervous system, not just your body and your plate.
Yes.
So I will send out that information and hopefully see some of you there.
Yay.
Um, Betty's excited.
And
I
Betty's
know.
experienced this firsthand. Do you want to say something about it, Betty?
Well, she has helped me twice on two different things. One was with the Cheetos, and the other was with the Ritz crunchy crack. And believe me, I haven't touched either one since I did. The one was starting to bug me, and she and I worked together on that. Oh, a few weeks ago, wasn't it? And
Mhm.
it really does help. Am I cured? No. Will I show up? I certainly hope that that is a free afternoon that I can show up at 2 o'clock. So, yes, it really is very, very helpful, and it's just amazing by the end of the hour, and you go, well, for heaven's sakes, this silly little chip here doesn't have any power on me anymore, and it's really amazing. So. Um, I
Wow, yeah. It will no longer be your stumbling block.
No, and I
Mhm.
yesterday I opened the cupboard door and there were those Ritz things, and it's like I just moved them out of the way. Eugenio had put them up in front of me. Oh, I just moved them over and got what I wanted in the back.
Mhm.
Whereas before it would have been, oh, they're stuck to my hand, and
Mhm.
it's. But thank you, Kate. Yes, it really
Yeah.
works.
And
Yes.
just
Thank
a
you.
reminder, Betty, it's going to be at 1 p.m. Central.
Oh,
Okay, it's
1
at
Next
2, but
Thursday.
that's Eastern. So next
2 Eastern,
Thursday,
so 1 Central.
I think everybody here is in Central Time. So, well, except Roxy. So just to clarify that. But if you can see the chat and click on the link, it'll open a tab behind Zoom, and then you can just put the early bird registration. But yes, it will also come in an email. And yes, you can invite a friend. You might want to refer them to this recording as soon as it gets posted to get Kate's explanation. But of course, you can tell them, and especially if you've done it. I think Sharon, you went, what you want to tell us what your craving was and how long ago that was, and then how's that going for you?
Um, yeah, I mentioned that kind of, yeah, it's kind of crazy, but um, when we would go shopping at Menards, I would be drawn to the Fisher peanut aisle. I'm like, well, I don't know why I want to go there and buy peanuts. But um, so that's what I worked on, and I really, you know, dove in, and I mean that's just something that I don't know if it's specific Fisher peanuts, but um, my mom used to make the peanut clusters. That
Mhm.
was always a Christmas, favorite of mine. And I'm like, so I think it's come from, when um, Kate talks about way back, it's like that's what came to my mind is peanut clusters from growing up, Christmas time. And so it was just diving into where did that craving come from? Where did it stem from?
Yeah, it's that specific. And how
Mhm.
long ago was that? And how many Fisher peanuts have you purchased and eaten since then? I think it was it last year or was it 2 years ago
I
already?
think
I
it's
think
been a
it's
couple.
2 years,
I think it's
wasn't
been a
it?
couple years ago.
I
I
think it has.
I don't head to that aisle. It's like, I mean, I do make those clusters for my family at Christmas time, but it's not, I just like, you know, I don't crave them,
And
but I,
that's the whole point. It's not about not enjoying them occasionally, but you no longer have the craving or the compulsion to eat them. So now you can enjoy them with intention. Make them for your family and enjoy them together once in a while. And
Mhm.
that's what you really want is that enjoyment of it, not needing to have it.
Yeah.
That's the difference. So that was great. So if you guys have any questions on the cravings or the upcoming event, feel free to ask Kate right now while she's here. And
I was going to say too, she helped me with ice cream, and because I had a compulsion with ice cream and I don't have it, so it worked.
you
Yes.
guys broke up,
Awesome.
huh?
Glad to hear it.
And
Yes.
still after all these, it's been many months or a year, hasn't it, Kathy?
Oh yeah, I think I've
Yeah.
had ice cream once,
Yeah.
and it
Yeah,
really
and
didn't
see,
even it didn't even really taste that good that I remember.
That's the funny thing. Sometimes it will taste different afterwards. I know Betty's said this too.
Yeah.
And the things that I specifically have done this cravings protocol on, I'll have them, I've had them a handful of times in the years since I've done this. And I'm like, huh, it was okay, but not great. And it's like, you can have a couple and then be like, yeah, it's not that great anymore. I don't need it.
Yeah. It's real funny that way. Yeah. Like
yeah,
I
but then you
crossed
can
the
use
street.
your prefrontal cortex and make a decision. I want to
Mhm.
eat this, and that's fine. And you've made a decision, but it's not, "Oh, I'm going to attack it. And if I don't have it, I'm going to just sit here and cry. And okay, maybe that was a little extreme. Maybe that was just me. Don't know. Hey,
It's
Rosie.
not though. When I was really having extremely strong cravings, I had gotten my mom would put Coke in my baby bottle when I was really little. That was my soother.
Oh wow.
Oh, no. Oh,
And
wow.
so as I got older, I would go through stress. When my mom was terminally ill, we took care of her at home. I was going through half a 12 pack a day of pop
A Coke
and
specifically.
cookies, not specifically Coke. It was usually more Dr. Pepper. But it could be Pepsi, it could be Dr. Pepper, but I was going through like a 6 pack a day and
Wow.
cookies and chips and anything that would give me a little bit of dopamine
Mhm.
because I was literally watching my mom waste away from the inside and die.
Yeah.
And we were feeding her through a feeding tube. So it's like the cravings that I had as she lost weight and got down, she was a big woman like me, and she got down to 97 pounds. And the more she lost, the more I gained. I gained 70 pounds the year that she died.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And it was the only thing that made me feel anything was food and fiction. So TV, movies, and junk food, because it was a dopamine hit. And when you're in that kind of insane amount of stress, your body is not producing oxytocin, dopamine, serotonin, any of your happy hormones. You just aren't producing them at all.
Yeah, you
Or,
can't
you
produce
know,
them at the same time cortisol is being produced. They
you
can't be at the
cannot.
same time.
Mm.
And cortisol feeds off of progesterone and the other things that you have to produce happy hormones. So your body is literally cannibalizing itself to create more stress. And food was the only thing that made me feel better. The
It made
only
you
thing.
even feel.
To feel anything other
Yeah,
than
it's going to
completely
be
numb.
Yeah.
tomorrow, no, Friday will be the anniversary,
20,
20 years when mom
20 years
died.
since she died.
When I went for the funeral, I'm like, you didn't even cry. It's like she
I,
couldn't
I
feel at
didn't
that point,
cry
but
for years. I couldn't. I was so dead inside. And I don't say that lightly. I felt nothing for years. And so when I was doing, finally got into doing the tapping, which I was more than 10 years ago, and the emotional regulation, it was too hard for me to give up my foods right away. It was too hard for me to give up a lot of things, but I started giving myself some self-care, some stress release. And that's all I could handle at that time. But when I got a little bit more, a little bit more released, a little bit more resilient, I was still having the cravings. And so I did the tapping protocol, the cravings protocol that I'll do next week. And I would literally go out in the middle of the night to get pop, junk food. If I was craving something specific, I couldn't sleep if I didn't have it. I would have the worst anxiety attacks you can possibly imagine because it wasn't in the house. I needed to know it was there. Even
and
if I wasn't
migraines.
consuming it, I would have migraines if I didn't have my things. And so when I tell you, like, I literally thought I was going to die if I didn't have my foods, that is not an exaggeration. And I went from like 20 out of 10 on a scale of 1 to 10, I was at least a 20 on all of my cravings. I have not had Dr. Pepper since then. Why I have like 2 or 3 times in the last probably 6 years, and it didn't taste good.
Yeah.
I went from 6 a day to now it's like, no, I don't really want it. Or someone near me will have it and I'll be like, hey, can I have just a sip? And I'll have it and I'll be like, oh, that was nice, but I don't need any more than that.
Yeah.
So the Dr. Pepper and the Cheetos were two of my biggest ones. And I don't really enjoy them anymore. I'll eat them occasionally, but like a handful of times in the last years. So even if your experience isn't as extreme as mine, mine was severe cravings. Maybe you're a 4 or a 5 out of 10 on a craving, like something specific that you want. That we can absolutely clear. And Roxy asked a good question. How can I identify my cravings when I like all kinds of foods? So a craving will be something specific. And it's not even usually as broad as sugar or bread. Sometimes it can be, but usually it's like chocolate chip cookies or Ice cream, usually a specific kind, though it can vary. But, if you like chocolate ice cream or coffee ice cream, it'll usually be something specific that you're thinking about. Even if you don't have it in your house, because that's one of your health habits, not to keep it in the house.
And Roxy
If you
did
keep,
an amazing clearing. She like filled a dumpster from
Yeah.
pantry when everybody else moved out. She's like, not my stuff.
yeah,
So
so it might be in that case, you don't necessarily have it, you're not eating it, but maybe you're still thinking about it.
Yeah.
It might be, oh man, I really wish I had some Ben and Jerry's chocolate cookie ice cream right now.
some
Yeah.
Or
orejitas y buñuelos y
yeah, it might be, tamales. It might be something that
But
you
it's
haven't
it's
had in a long
also
time.
Roxy, think about this. Hunger comes up gradual. And you're like, oh, I'm hungry. I want to eat. But if you start saying, no, I don't want that. No, I don't want that. Only I want this.
If
Only
nothing
this
else
will
will
make me happy.
do, yeah,
And
if nothing else will do, that's a craving.
yeah, and if it comes up immediately, it's a craving. And advertisers have us pegged, when I didn't want a Big Mac until I saw the ad.
Hmm.
So if you see it and then you instantly want it, they play on that craving, but they make the emotional connection that feel good, eat this food,
Hmm.
your dopamine hit. So think about it, Roxy. Is it really specific? Like, I only want this thing. Only this thing will make me happy.
And Sharon had a really good example. There's nothing wrong with peanuts. They're a healthy food in moderation. It can be like I had a great example. A gal craved apples. There's nothing wrong with apples. Apples are healthy, but she would eat like 10 of them. So even if it's a healthy food, the craving is I need to have this thing. So it could be, I mean, I don't know anyone that necessarily craves like the Optavia crunchy snacks or whatever,
Betty.
but it can be one of those things that's like, okay, what I really want is Cheetos or Fritos or this is what I have, so I'll eat this. You're still substituting a craving. So you might not be craving your Optavia crunchies. You might be craving something else and just using a healthier substitute, which is a good health habit, but you still want to heal the craving for the original thing.
Yeah, sometimes the craving is the crunch. I just need something crunchy. And that usually is I'm not being heard. I need someone to validate me and my feelings. So I have to be loud and crunchy to be noticed. So sometimes it's the emotion under it. It's the
Hmm.
craving that needs to be fulfilled, the connection, the attention, the validation. And usually for me, cravings are usually something warm and creamy because it's soothing, it's comfort food. So it's different than emotional eating, but a craving is I need it now and I need this thing.
And like I said, it doesn't have to be super, super strong,
Yeah.
but it's when you tell yourself, okay, if you're hungry, then we have chicken, lettuce, and feelings. Which of these do you want? None of those. Then it's not a hunger, you're having a craving. Or your body could be asking for something specific. Maybe you need beef because you need iron or something. But generally speaking, it's a craving. I want, you know, a junk food item, or I want, nuts, or I want chips, or I want something more specific.
And even back to Roxy, it's like if I want a taco, is it I want Taco Bell? Is it I want my mama's tacos? I want it, they have to be the way grandma made the tacos. Only this is what's gonna be good for me.
Never Taco Bell.
Yeah.
No quiero Taco Bell.
No, no, no. That's the last thing that I can think about it.
Yeah. So was the answer, the explanation helpful for you, Roxy? Did that
Yes,
make more sense?
yes. So some ideas came to my mind. Like the other day, I want some Oreos.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
Want Oreos, but then I went and I was like, they're kind of expensive, $4. So I said, I don't want to spend four
Mm-hmm.
dollars.
Wasn't worth it.
And then I checked the bag and it was like 400 calories, and I was like, no. And I knew it. I'm gonna eat the whole bag. So
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
what I did is I stop at the dollar store and I get a little bag.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yeah.
it,
And
And
but
it
so,
was
I,
satisfying?
I didn't really like it to get this
yeah,
Oreos. Like, I know it. I mean, they were not healthy, but some suddenly I just want a cookie.
Yeah.
yeah, they
Yeah.
didn't
But it's
taste
not
good.
just any cookie.
Yeah.
It had to be Oreo.
Mm.
See,
And
that's a
I
so
mean,
that's a really good example of a craving. And that's why I ask you to bring that particular food with you to the craving session. If you don't have any in the house, go buy one, but like buy one, not a whole bag or whatever. But you actually want to have the experience of eating it during the session. And like Roxy said, sometimes you really want that thing and you're craving it, and then you have it, and it's like, "Ugh, this doesn't taste that good. This isn't what I really wanted." But you want a feeling that you associate with it. And even when, your tastes have changed and you're used to a feeling and not a cookie, your mind still makes the connection to a feeling that you used to have when you eat it.
Yeah.
So that's part of the process that we do in the session is you bring it with you, your one, you know, item that you want to eat, or it could be a beverage, and you actually are going to consume it during the session because we're dealing with all of that, the anticipation, the sensation of eating it, the taste, the texture. And even when you get to the point of, oh, this doesn't taste like it should, we tap on that too. So you're releasing the disappointment that it doesn't taste like it should anymore. And we're connecting you back with the feeling that you had from eating it without you needing to eat it to have the feeling.
Okay.
So, any other questions?
The one question I have is this happens once in a while. You want something, but you don't know what it is. So you maybe have a little ice cream, and then you have the Cheetos, and then you have the this, and you have the that, and you try. Maybe it's a pickle I want, and well, no, it wasn't the pickle. And then but you go through 6 or 8 things, and you still have this intense craving, but you can't figure out what it is. That I really hate. I really hate.
And and that's a really good example of how a craving is slightly different from emotional eating. So a craving will be for something specific, but if you're in an emotional eating state, it will be, um, I want to feel a certain way, but I don't know what will make me feel that way. So, like you said, you graze the house and nothing is quite hitting the spot.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, in that way, we also can learn to identify what is it that we're feeling and really needing. And then, okay, what can I do to fill that need so that I'm not,
Doing
on the buffet at the refrigerator going through everything trying to find something.
Yeah, sometimes that's worse because you've gone through 6 or 8 horrible things that that aren't good for
And,
you
and it's a
rather
weird
than
combination.
that
And now
one
you
little
have a
bag at
bellyache.
home. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So okay. Yeah.
Well,
Well, this was great.
as we wait for this week, I have a kind of a wrap up to be thinking about is that as I'm listening to several things, I'm seeing people take notes furiously and like keeping all these information down. I
I've been getting a lot of help recently for, well, one, I had a dental emergency and I'm like on pretty much a mostly liquid diet for this week. So I've had a big experiment in just looking at, I'm not going to eat that because I'm not going to break that tooth, period.
Yeah.
And so it's made me more mindful. However, I'm on an emotional journey as well, getting some assistance with dealing with some trauma in my life. And uh, a top recommendation that just came to me a couple of days ago was looking at, for example, what you're eating and not judging yourself. And so my challenge to all of you, like between now and workshop, is to not look at that and say I'm a bad person for buying this or I did this, because you really need to like get into your cravings. You have to not put that judgment on there. And what our head says is our head says, I know all these things about cortisol. I know all these things about emotional eating. I know all these things about so for example, like if I'm emotionally eating, I have a couple of grandchildren who are foster children, and so we have been working a lot with them on rebonding. And my background is education, and so this is a really important thing. And like as I'm rubbing oil into my grandson's feet, he's 9 years old, and and talking to him, and we talk about a lot about his personal relationship with Jesus, and that's one of our big one of his favorite topics. And this last week, he was sitting next to me in church, and he's 9, and he's a big boy. And I just had my arm on the back of the pew, and 4 times he laid his head into my chest, like right there. And I just it touched me so deeply because, it's something definitely I understand. And my daughters have said that is that I reach children differently because I understand what the need is. And I'd say this week is like as you're focusing on what your craving is, not getting tripped up with being really absorbed with what is my craving and is that attached to that I was rejected as a 12-year-old for the cheerleading squad. You know, try not to do that because that's also what our food cravings do to us. They tap into that part of our brain that says you are a failure. And I say I don't say you as you, so please don't hear that, but I am a failure. And when you think about it, is that like if you were looking at your life objectively from another seat, do you think you could say your life has been 90% successful? And I'm going to guess that I'm going to say this for you, and I don't know you all hardly at all, but I'm going to say your life is 90% successful. In business, 85% is considered great. And if you're focusing on that 10% where you think you aren't doing enough, it is time to apply some grace and mercy to yourselves and give yourselves that latitude. So as I'm journeying another about 5 days of not having quote normal eating, I'm really enjoying the peace and quiet of not really being aware that I'm not hungry, really being aware that sometimes, even though I hate protein shakes, sometimes that's just what I need at 8 o'clock at night, and I think it's also made me much more aware that I am probably protein deprived, because of eating too much sugar. And so there's a lot of that. So, just give yourself the mercy and grace as you walk away from this with a lot of great insights. That would be my recommendation. So
That
you
is
heard
so
me late.
beautiful
I
and
got a business
insightful.
call in the middle of that, so I'm sorry I didn't speak up before, but
Oh, well, thank you for saying it now. Very insightful.
Thank you.
And yes, let's actually continue this
Thank you, Jill.
conversation into next Wednesday. So, everybody have a great rest.
Bye. Bye. Have a good week and thank you. Thank
See
you
you
for
soon.
everything.
Well,
We'll see you next
Yes.
week, if not sooner.
Yep.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
bye.